Welcome to my channel, Level Headed with Levi D. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and set the bell notification to all. Please also share this. Let's get into it.
Don't wait up, I've been working hard every day, living dreams for a pay stub, yeah, straight up. 5 years later, like I said, I would make it on my way up. It's all up, coming from the nation, lay the foundation, true stuff, yeah, too tough. We ain't giving up on our dreams, everything is ahead of us. Stay true to your path, it's not where you start, it's all where you're at. It's where you end up when your back's to the mat. Do you cripple the flat or get up off your back? Deliver these facts to see them react. The stadium's packed, they all gonna snap. The motivated attract, the escalated attack, the frustrated hit back. Yeah, we move fast. I wanna change everything. I swear I'll do anything just to get where I wanna be. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. It's automatic, I'm always getting after it. If you ain't working, I don't understand what's happening. There's not enough time just to be imagining. You gotta take some action towards practicing. I know it's not easy, but you gotta get out there. Make your own meaning, can't afford to have doubts. They'll interrupt here, man, I just wanna look out there. The crowd all screaming. I wanna change everything. I swear I'll do anything just to get where I wanna be. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go. I won't stop, no. I won't let go. I won't drop, no. And I won't let go.
Hello, welcome in everybody. Let's see who we got here. We got Dino. Hi, Lynn. Juju. Hello. Lana. Hello. Real Talk with Amanda and Chris. Hello. Let's get this done here today. We are going to cover some things on Michael Vaughan. This is Michael Vaughan here on the screen. Michael Joseph Vaughan went missing on July 7th or July 27th, 2021. He was age 5 at the time. He is now age 6. At the time he went missing, he was approximately 3 foot 7 inches tall and approximately 50 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. Last seen wearing a light blue Minecraft shirt, black boxer briefs with lime green stitching, with size 11 flip-flop sandals. Last seen around Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland, Idaho. This photo was taken 1 month prior to his disappearance. If you have any information concerning Michael, please contact Fruitland Police Department Dispatch at 208-642-6006 or email tip@fruitland.org. There is also a Facebook page that is Find Michael Vaughn as well. And those are things that we need to continue pushing. It's been a while since I've done a video on Michael Vaughn. Hence the title here is I even forgot what I put. Something about why won't you come forward? This is a case that this man here on screen was walking through. The man is not a suspect or a person of interest, but Fruitland PD would like to talk to this man. He was walking by the splash pad during time frame leading up to Michael Vaughn going missing. Black shorts, dark colored hat, shoes, and white cutoff t-shirt, early 20s, late 20s, early 30s. And there is a picture of him, has not come forward. We also need to share that out there into the internet as well. It's time to show his picture out there as well. It's time to get some more people in the community that have not been compliant to come forward, whether it's with an attorney or not. I suggest you to go to Fruitland PD, and if you know something, you need to say something. Good morning, Lana. You're on mute.
Good morning. I think I have an echo. Hold on.
You're fine over here.
We need to fix the link on Nightbot. Callie Dime, if you look, it says www.findmichaelfruitland.org. That's not even a valid domain. It's like it made the findmichael@fruitland.org a website instead of an email. Or, you know what I'm saying? www.findmichaelfruitland.org is not an actual.
Here, I'll fix it. Find Michael.
And then also it says call or text. I don't think 642-6006 is a text line. That is a landline. So there's no texting that number. That makes sense. So, but good morning, everyone.
I'm fixing it right now.
Oh, that's fine. I've got some background noise here too. There are people working right outside my house. Let's see who all's here. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, single mom of 4. Oh, single mom of 4. I was a single mom. I am a single mom of 2. Mine are grown up now, though, but it's a lot of work. Pat you on the back, lady. And we got Callie Dime, always up in the house. Who else we got rolling up here? Juju, Dino, not sure. Yeah, if you guys could give a share, real talk, hello, bring Monkey home. We'll wait for Levi to edit his stuff. You know, he's got to. Sorry, guys. Sometimes he puts things out without actually having me edit them first. So I have to, you know, point them out in the moment.
There you go. That one goes right to it.
Well, no, you still got errors because there's never mind. Let's fix it later. Cause look, there's no space between 2 and the HTTPS, and there's actually no /reward 52,000. Like that's going to create a whole link by having that all together. You need to put some spaces in there.
Yes, mother.
Hey, it's not going to work if you don't do it.
It works. Test her out.
Okay. All right. If you say so.
The interesting thing is I didn't know that reward was part of the website, so it takes you right to the reward page. But what we'll do is do it like this.
Yeah, and like I said, I told you, I'll tell everyone else, I had a call with Navi last night, so there's going to be lots of edits to the website. He's getting on and making some changes to that. Callie, could you share this live to the Facebook group? I can't share anything in it right now because I'm in Facebook jail. But it would be nice to share this to the group and See if anyone else wants to join.
All right, there we go. Fixed.
Wow, okay. Sorry, people are throwing things against my door.
All righty, there we go. That one's done. Yeah. So I guess the biggest news here is that October, from what I've seen, investigators have been working hard, which is a good thing. October was a crazy month. I did call Fruitland, what was that, 2 days ago, to follow up on a tip, just to make sure that the lead and the tip were followed up on. And they reassured me they had notes on the tip, and it was a tip that came in August, and it had been checked out by them, and which is a good sign. We need to continue to enter tips and continue to like things like this, where they're good panels on Michael Vaughn's case. Yeah.
Yeah, October has been, I think, a very interesting month in this case. In a lot of ways, like you said, there's been a lot of movement in the case. There's been a lot of new resources that have come to the table. Some we can share and some we cannot. The one that we have shared and I've told before on other panels is the Idaho Cold Case Foundation is in Fruitland working with law enforcement. Again, in case anyone's new to this conversation, Michael's case is not a cold case. The foundation is just there locally, and they had resources to offer that could help to analyze data, go back from the beginning, and lay new eyes on the case, and just help. So that's what they've done. And they also have started to work on an age progression photo of Michael. That's not complete yet, to my knowledge. I think I'm hopeful there'll be a public press release when it's done, or press
Wait,
conference.
I got a phone call. I'll be right back. Just
And
continue anything.
okay. So we're hopeful that law enforcement will do a presser when that comes out, because that always helps to get more eyes on Monkey. And since they've been in town working with investigators and other resources, there's been a lot of movement, a lot of information that's come to light. Not much of which I can really share, but it's there. A lot of new information on the non-compliant people. Things like that have come to light. I don't know, Callie, if you want to come up on panel, there's the link in chat, or if anybody else wants to, talk about this, and leave it open for anyone today who might have questions or anything like that. Just wanted to put that out there before we get too far. But yeah, so there's been the Cold Case Foundation and other resources in town. The reward still sits at just over $52,000 and is managed by Fruitland Police Department. Anyone who wants to contribute to that can contact them. They manage that and handle it, and we'll take your money. Yeah. And then I don't know if Levi's back or he's still gone, but Callie, are you going to come up on panel? Sorry, guys. I didn't know we were doing this morning. I'm kind of a little unprepared to just take the dead space on somebody else's channel and run with it. Must be an important phone call if he's just disappearing on us. Yeah, thanks, Sluggy Sleuth. I need all the love today. Monkey love. Gosh, it's been hard. I guess share with you, the other day, guys, I was on the phone with Brandi, just talking about stuff, trying to figure out some updates for the website and, just, get things out there and things we can do. She was telling me some of the information that, law enforcement's given her this month. And told me that, it's getting really, really, really hard for Buggy. The older she gets, the more vocal she's getting about finding her brother. And it's becoming daily, all day, where this little baby is just screaming at all the adults in her life to find Monkey. She's going and laying in his bed and snuggling with his blankets and stuffed animals and holding his Spider-Man doll and telling him that Spider-Man's coming to get him and bring him home. She's using play phones and calling her brother to talk to him and tell him that she's coming to find him. And while I was talking to Brandi, when we were wrapping up, Buggy kind of started to get vocal in the background, as she does, and she was yelling at us to go find Michael. And Brandi said, "Hey, let's go to the grocery store. Do you want to go with me and go get some groceries?" And she just let out this scream that, God, it still shakes me to think about it. She just screamed at the top of her lungs, "Monkey first," and then just started howling, just screaming, sobbing, "Monkey first, go get Monkey." And I'm just sitting on the phone like, there's nothing I can do, telling. And I just started crying, and I just said, "Brandi, I'm going to let you go," because Brandi was crying, and Tyler was crying, and Buggy's crying, and we're all just crying. And there's nothing we can do to really help her other than just hug her and hold her and make promises that we're going to do everything we can, to find Michael. And that's the reality of what's happening there with this baby. She doesn't understand. I mean, we are adults and we don't understand, why someone would take this child and where he's at and why there's non-compliant neighbors and people not giving information. And this little girl is just growing up in this, every single day. This is a thing with her. This is her meltdowns. These are her tantrums. These are her fits. Are over Michael, and she doesn't understand why all the grown-ups around her aren't bringing him home. And she asks, "Go get him. Go get him. Go find him. Go bring him home." So we need to offer our love and support. If you're in our group, please, those posts matter. Brandi and the family, they all read them, and it really does help, because they're the ones that have to pull that strength up and, wrap their arms around this little baby and hug her and love her and, bring her anxiety down and help her to be calm and help her to understand, and to me, I just think about how she's developing and growing. And, if you're a parent, the development that goes on at this age for them. And for Buggy, she's growing up through trauma. It's just daily trauma that is affecting her little system, And at the same time, she's also the brightest light and joy in that home for them. She's, always laughing too and playing and, getting Michael's toys and trying to come help cook dinner, and plays with their kitten Pigeon, and is keeping them laughing and love. But it's difficult and heartbreaking. Hi, Blaine. Yeah, poor parents. It's so hard. I'm still so shook by hearing her voice that day, and it's in my head. Like I can hear it, and it just brings the tears just thinking about it. And I just wanted so bad to just pick her up and hug her and love her. And I'm here and she's there and nothing I can do. And I want so badly to bring her brother home for her. And I wish I knew where he was and could go get him. I wish I could air out who's all being non-compliant and everything we know. And, it makes me angry. Like how can you live next door to this family and withhold information? Like, you're doing that. You are doing this to this little girl by withholding information. And I'm starting to get really pissed. I mean, I've been pissed, but I'm really, getting there. Are you back level?
I am. So on a happy note, though, when I do call Buggy, the first thing she does is wants to say hi on the phone, and it's her
Yes.
ploy to grab the phone and take off running and with the phone. So it's always
Yes.
a joy when I call.
I sent Brandi a TikTok I saw the other day. It reminded me of Buggy because it was a couple weeks ago. But the little girl had done the same thing. Like, you see this little baby like pick up the phone, and you hear the mom in the background yelling at the little baby like, "Do you have my phone?" And the baby's like, "No." And then she's like, "Bring me my phone." And the little baby runs me all hee 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 hee. And it's like, yep, that's exactly what Buggy does.
Yep, and then she just talks your ear off. She's at that stage. She's going through a stage.
She's going through a stage, and then also I think it's because, again, what she's growing up in is she's seeing her parents on the phone all the time because there's always calls about Michael, people calling either to support or give information, or police or daily calls. Brandi's on FaceTimes, she's watching videos, like there's, and that's why it's so funny. Like, I shared that video of her cooking dinner because it was like she was a little influencer. She was just all holding Michael's picture up and, meet my sister, and like helping cook dinner and share. And it was just adorable. And because she wants that connection too, and I think that's really what it is at that little age, she's already wanting that connection. She knows people are helping look for her brother. She, she wants to talk to everyone too. And she is just such a bright light. I love talking to her. Oh, your son loves talking to Buggy. How old is your son, Lynn? That's super cute.
Yeah, that would be funny to maybe we can get Blue to videotape them talking to each other. That'd be funny.
Yeah, they are great kids. One just had a birthday on Halloween. The other boy child in the family just turned 13. He's a full-fledged teenager now. So exciting. Doing really good too. Brandi said they're both doing really good in school. Blue likes to go by Paige now too. She's very involved in color guard still. So it's been fall, so there's a lot of, Friday Night Lights games with the band performances happening. And she's gone on some competitions, and she got to go march at Disneyland with her band. So she's really, lighting up through that creative outlet. And yes, she'll be having her sweet 16 too. She's so mature, so grown up, and just she's really doing great with her color guard, and loving that and having that outlet. And it's been bringing a lot of joy to the parents too. Brandi sent me some videos, and it gets her out of the house, gets them out with their community, sitting in the stands, watching their high school game, and, doing that. And people offer them support and love, when they're out there too. So, yeah, they're doing good so far. I mean, there's definitely been some turmoil, and they're also having, their own emotions around this, and struggling and fighting like teenage brothers and sisters do, normal sibling rivalry stuff. But, it's got that added emotion to it because their little brother is gone. So that trauma elevates, the sibling rivalries a little bit. And that's also hard, for these kids, for the parents, for everyone. And nobody's doing anything wrong. It literally is just normal, sibling stuff. And anyone that has siblings or has multiple children knows what that's like when you have two teenagers in the home. They bump around and they annoy each other, and they also hug and love each other. But it's just those moments of having to deal with the normal stuff that gets elevated, that on top of the emotions and on top of the trauma, that makes it so much worse for the family.
Do we know yet if there's 5 trucks out there already or not yet?
Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold. I don't know. I would have to check up. A couple of weeks ago was the last time I had any official word on that, and 3 of them were done and on the road, and the other 2 are getting printed or whatever the process is of putting it, on the truck. So mine don't hug each other. They might put each other in a chokehold. Yes, Bling, I had 2 boys 3 years apart, and there may have been some chokeholds, and getting calls at work because one would lock the other one out of the house, or, just things that they would do. Just the normal stuff. My sister and I are 4 years apart. I mean, we had some WWE wrestling going on growing up, and our dad taught us how to fight and protect ourselves as well, because he was a police officer. So, we were taught self-defense as, little kids. And so, yeah, we knew how to fight, and we definitely practiced on each other. You have all boys. Yes. It's a whole new, I didn't grow up with brothers. So having boys was a whole new world for me, raising boys. I wouldn't change it for anything. I love my boys, and it was a wonderful experience raising them to be the young adults that they are today. Sounds like Brandi and her sisters. Yes, I've heard some stories about Brandi and her sisters, and they still wrap each other around with love, though. Now they're there supporting her, and it's hard because they're not right there in Fruitland, and I know they all want to be, but they definitely are there supporting her. Single mom of 4, has 2 boys and 2 girls. Okay, so 2 of each. I have a friend that has all girls, so I see that side of it too. I love them dearly. However, a lot of estrogen. Anything else you want to talk about regarding Michael? I know you have some agenda items, Levi.
I was trying to find the timeline, but I can't find it right this second. But here's monkey mail, and I don't know. I know that there you can fill it out on the website.
Yeah, the form is there. The form is there. There's been some holdups. We're waiting on more bracelets again, and that's usually the process, is waiting on that to come from the Kyron Horman Foundation. We have a bunch of cards, and we have actually all the envelopes made up and addressed and everything caught up on our side from the form entries. So if you've entered your information, it's on an envelope with the cards in it, but we're just waiting on bracelets. And so I don't know if this is something where, our team needs to maybe kind of take over the ordering side of it. To date, it's just been, Kane sends them to Brandi, and Brandi gives them to the volunteers, and they package and mail everything. Yeah, so we do have the form on the findmichaelvaughan.com website. It's still there. Please go fill it out, and we will get monkey mail. If you want to help in the meantime with posters, those are, on the website as well as on the Fruitland Police website, the official clearinghouse posters on there. And, the weather's changing in a lot of states and a lot of areas. So these posters need to be, taken down and replaced, and maybe put in a sleeve or laminated for weather, depending on where you live. Yeah, I haven't gotten bracelets in over 2 months, Lynn. So that makes sense. And I apologize, but yeah, that's exactly where it's at. When it's all volunteer ran and you're waiting on someone else, there's really not much I can do, other than try to just be a thorn in someone's side. And I can get really annoying real fast. So I'll just do that here soon. But I also don't want to like be a pain, because you're just, you're so grateful for everything they're providing at the same time. But those posters are there. We have a lot of people. I've been coordinating on the side, through our group. There's constantly poster brigades taking place now, is what I call them. People are calling and, reaching out, and they're messaging me, and they're like, hi, like, I live in this town and I want to go hang up posters. And so they go, and we've been coordinating these efforts, around Idaho and elsewhere. And they are changing out posters, putting up new posters. Some people are choosing to go door to door and hand out posters to their neighbors. We're doing some of that in Fruitland as well, making some new posters, and people are going door to door in the community, and directly around the neighborhood of where Michael lives, and knocking and talking to people and letting neighbors know that you're living next door to people that are non-compliant and Michael's still missing. And, here's the updated information. As soon as we get an age progression photo from cold case, we'll update those posters for that. But the more volunteers that want to come out and do that, especially in Fruitland and in the neighborhood around Michael, please reach out to me, because we would love to have you on board, helping to put pressure and flush out whatever's going on and get these people to stop being non-compliant and come forward with their information. Yeah, we're trying to keep them out there. So yeah, Lynn, we had someone in the group brought up a really good idea. They live, I can't remember where they live, but they, not in Idaho, they're in another state. And so they went to their local library, and their library had the laminate, machines and stuff. And they let them laminate posters for no charge at their local library, and got those for nothing. So that's an idea too. If you don't have the ability to laminate them yourself, maybe try your local library, and see if they do. Sometimes the police stations even have that stuff, as well as maybe schools. Schools might be willing to help too. So those are ideas that were given to the volunteers, and they're all reaching out, but some of them are just getting the sleeves and doing it on their own.
Oh, wow. I will have to ask them. I was given a large roll to use. I don't know what that means.
Self-laminate. Yeah. And that's
self-laminate.
great, because that's a self-laminate. You can get that stuff at like office supply stores, things like that. If you have, the ability to do so. Not everyone can, not everyone has funding, and they want to help anyway. So sometimes there are those resources in your community to go get things laminated. And the person who did it was like, I just went into my library and was like, hey, can you help me help this missing child? And she's like, I don't see anyone saying no, but they might, because, there is budgets related to libraries and schools, but they also might be willing to help. So you have the poster, the yard sign up now.
I was trying to find this. Oh, here it is.
Somebody said, tell us about your Halloween. I missed that. I didn't do anything. I've been sick. And I really got hit hard with the flu. It was not COVID. I did get a COVID test. But I have been locked up in my house. I'm starting to get better, but it's still kind of in my throat and my voice, and still kind of snotty. But I really didn't do much. I stayed home for Halloween. My kids are grown. Where I'm renting my guest house, I'm renting from a wonderful Guatemalan family, and they have family up from Guatemala actually. So there's two little boys, 7 and 5, that are here. So they dressed up and went trick or treating, and I got to kind of vicariously, live through them and remember when my boys were little and all that fun. I sent Halloween gifts off to my nieces and nephews back in Idaho, and I sent a package out to the Vaughn Neal kids. Got that all out late because I was sick and I didn't want to go to the post office. But yeah, that was my Halloween. Nothing too special over here.
Fun. Here I have found the schools are difficult. I can't even hang his flyer in the schools. They say it worried the parents and made them uncomfortable. I was less than thrilled. Yeah, I see that happen more and more in schools where they don't allow you to hang flyers.
Well, the schools might not let you hang them, but people who are looking for resources to get posters laminated might be able to get that assistance at the school. They might help you laminate them, but it makes sense that they wouldn't want to hang them in the school, especially for the kids. I see both sides of it because to me, it's a opportunity for a conversation, that needs to take place with these kids, or, an assembly or something where we are continuously teaching our children how to protect themselves when they are out there in the public and being enticed. When they're getting off the bus, they need to understand it could happen right between their bus stop and their house, and we need to teach our kids, what to look for. For me, like, my dad being a cop, I was taught as young as I can remember, to never approach a parked car, no matter what the person's saying to you, no matter what's happening, you never approach a parked car. To the point my dad even taught us, like, if you're walking up a sidewalk and you see an adult like sitting in a parked car by the sidewalk, you cross the street and you go the other way. Like, you do not even like walk by parked cars, because my dad knew and told us as little girls that if someone gets you in that car, you're not coming home. And it is scary to hear that as a kid, but it would be scarier as a child to have to go through it. So we have to, as parents, teach them, as lovingly as we can, and show them that there's still so much good in the world also. But trafficking is bigger, abductions are happening more and more. And this is the only way, is by being honest with them, that they are to never go to parked cars. They are to never willingly leave with someone, because if you willingly walk away with someone, you won't come home to your mom. And I remember telling my boys these things and watching their little faces be like, like, oh my gosh, I would never see you again. And like, no, you would never. If you left with a stranger, even if they told you, I told them, if they use your mom as an excuse. And it's hard to look at their little faces, be scared and that, but there's predators out there watching our children. They're watching our bus stops. I see it in the Treasure Valley in the Nextdoor app 3-4 times a week. Parents posting in Nextdoor about somebody trying to entice children in the Treasure Valley, and that's right there where Michael was taken. So it's happening everywhere, and we need to help them understand that they can be loud, that they can fight grown-ups. If someone grabs them, they can do that. You can punch and kick and scream and be loud, because that's what's going to save you, because they want the quiet children, not the ones that are fighting and kicking and screaming. And there's been quite a few success stories out there. Every so often you do see them in the news of children escaping someone trying to grab them or entice them because they fought back, or because, 2 13-year-old kids down the street saw it happening and interfered and, helped, because they were taught by their parents. So, we need to continue that conversation. So to me, like, when the schools are telling Lynn, like, we don't want to do this, like, that's also an opportunity to maybe have a larger conversation where the school can possibly start having more information shared with their students on how to protect themselves.
So this timeline that I have on the screen here is, to my ability and to, I'll speak for Lana, to her ability, this is the most accurate timeline that we have seen. It's a very good one to follow. 6:37 p.m. Neighbor takes Michael back to his yard, which is the front yard. 6:40.
Allegedly, I want to enter
allegedly,
allegedly because that person, in my opinion, is questionable AF, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. Allegedly walked Michael back to his mailbox.
At 6:40, Tyler orders pizza. Between 6:40 and 7 p.m., Michael disappears in this window, according to police. Michael's seen by neighbors throughout a period of time here. 6:47 p.m., Honda Pilot seen on CCTV. Tyler searches the backyard and the house. Tyler leaves house to look for Michael by vehicle. Tyler seen on CCTV splash pad just after 7 p.m. Rings Brandi, searches neighborhood. 7:21 was the 911 call, confirmed by Ellie. And if you haven't watched that episode of Michelle Walks or Michelle After Dark, this one's on Michelle Walks. I did pin it to the top here and did drop it into the thing. That was a very good episode. It
is. She's, I mean, I'm a huge super fan of Michelle anyway. She's so thorough. She's unbiased as they come. And she's got a freaking PhD in research, and she really does the research and she gets the information. And her timelines come from facts, not from, speculation and theories and whatever. So this is definitely the best timeline that's been drawn out from the information that we can get from law enforcement and have gotten from law enforcement that I have seen. Yes.
Yes, indeed. So definitely check that episode out. I don't know what else we can do here. We just need the
let people know that on Monday, I want to know that, on Monday, everyone go to Novelist True Crimes channel. We've got a live scheduled, and he's got some things he wants to talk about. And we're going to start doing those Monkey Mondays over there again now that he's back, and getting those on the schedule, because there's lots of things that we want to talk about in regards to the non-compliant people and the person who allegedly walked Michael back to the mailbox. Yeah, lots of things that we can discuss. We're going to start doing that. And I think he's going to be doing, he's going to try, like I told you, he wants to get you and Michelle on a panel to talk about this timeline compared to the babysitter's timeline. So yes, that's something that we're going to have coming up as well, because she's, there's nobody's been cleared. The parents even haven't been publicly, quote, cleared. As we all know, anyone who's following, in the most recent press conference, after the family took retinol polygraphs and passed, law enforcement stated that they are not the focus. They've been telling us that for a while anyway. They've been saying they're non-compliant, people non-compliant, and the family's 100% compliant, family's supportive. They've made all those statements. They've also made statements that as every day goes by, the more likely this is an abduction. But they've never, since it is an open investigation, they haven't cleared anyone. They have only said, all options are on the table. Non-compliant people in the neighborhood, Honda Pilot's not been cleared. I still am trying to confirm. I know you contacted Ellie recently. I'm contacting them also because I want to confirm a rumor that the Honda Pilot was seen on footage coming back that night. And I want to see if that's true or not, because I don't understand how they could have the vehicle leaving and coming back and not know who's driving it, if that's true. So those things are still kind of out there to look into and get clarified. So we definitely want to have some discussions about these, because it's been over a year and Michael is still not found. And there are people who are living right next door to this family that are not working with LE, you know, and that's not okay with me anymore. Yeah, the babysitter timeline, where the wind blows. The babysitter has always been weird since the beginning, and a lot of people have speculated a lot of things, and her timeline doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. She's done a lot of really shady things and has participated in attacking the family afterwards. And has a very questionable past. So lots of people are looking into it. Ellie's watching her for sure. I know it. You know, they're watching everyone. They've said that. Everyone's on the table. They're watching the neighbors. They're watching the family. They're watching the babysitter. They're watching everyone that was around this child. So saying that they're watching her doesn't mean that she's the only one. You know, no one's been named an official suspect in this yet. So yeah, we want to have there's some creators that want to have some discussions comparing Michelle's amazing timeline to her timeline. And I think Navi and Michelle are going to try to get that together here soon and have that discussion. So, we can look at it from a factual standpoint. I want her home ripped apart. They were doing remodeling on that home. Yeah, well, not only that, but her husband, who she's split from, and I'm not going to publicly say it, but he has said some really questionable things that people witnessed and took to law enforcement and reported. So, no, I don't. There's too many factors. That's the thing. There's too many factors. There's the walking man that hasn't come forward. There's the Honda Pilot that can't be cleared. There's neighbors that are non-compliant. There's a crazy babysitter out there trying to get attention and claiming she moved out of state when she still lives in Idaho and whatever weird crap she's doing. There's so many unknowns that have yet to be cleared in this case that makes it like who done it, and that's where all these creators go nuts and start, basing their opinions on statistics only, and wasted months and months and months focusing on the family instead of where we need to look. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing these discussions take place between some of these creators that want to look at some of these other facts. Well, you know what? There was a neighbor that did a lot of yard work right after this and dug up a whole bunch of stuff and took a whole trailer of stuff to the dump and then went camping for a week right after this. And that to me is sus, especially since it was one of the houses that Michael knocked on. She's not going to talk, Lynn. She tried to get she has. You can go find it. She's done interviews on YouTube like crazy. She even had some that she backed out on. There was one that Cam and Allie were going to do on their channel, and she wouldn't do it because they wouldn't give her the questions ahead of time. And Harsh Reality or something. No, maybe it wasn't Harsh. Somebody was supposed to be on panel with her. I don't know. And they couldn't be there. And she wanted that like support system for her and didn't do the interview. But there's been lots of interviews with her all over YouTube. Yeah, the babysitter.
Well, in my own opinion, those are the audio that we have that was speaking with a personal friend of hers. Mm-hmm. It gains more value than anything that I've seen her do since, because that wasn't like pre-planned or it was them just talking about her day, and it doesn't add up.
No, nothing adds up. I mean, none of this adds up. And somebody I follow on Twitter had even tweeted and was like, I mean, this happened in daylight. Many neighbors saw him, all of these facts, and yet they can't find Michael. So it's difficult. I ignore the haters too. I won't even say, I'm trying not to say their names anymore. Sometimes it slips out, but trying to not even put that energy into naming them anymore. They know who they are. Anyone wants to find them, it's easy because they're just spewing venom on their platforms and
Oh,
taking
they're
away
watching
from
right now.
Michael. I mean, well, it takes away from finding Michael is the thing. Go speculate behind closed doors and have your discussions and whatever, but don't take away from finding Michael. Don't try to one up like everyone's trying to do with Quentin Simon right now and be the first to leak it so I get all the likes, and just quit that kind of stuff. Like, if you're going to report on cases and true crime stories and missing people, and especially when there's a little child out there with a predator, anyone who takes a child is a predator, period. And he's out there with a predator, and you want to risk that. Every day he's with this person, he is being traumatized no matter what is going on, just by being there.
Yep. Well, that's it. It's a nice banner that was put up.
I think there's people that don't want to talk to Ellie where the wind blows. I agree with you about the partier comment. Being that Idaho is still illegal for cannabis, and it's literally right across the bridge in Ontario. So, I mean, everyone all the way through Boise and up to Cambridge go to Ontario to, go to the dispensaries. My guess is there's probably some of these people that are, quote, non-compliant because they are making them go through the warrant process in order to do their searches. I think are fearful that, they're going to get in trouble because they have weed. They're not all non-compliant because they're guilty. I fully believe some of those people are just like that. They're partiers, might have negative feelings about the cops. I mean, most of us, if you grew up in that area, you went to school with some of these people. So maybe you haven't liked them since the 5th grade, and you're never going to like them. So there's all of those factors. It doesn't make sense to me. I would still open my door and be like, by the way, I've got weed over here. Please don't arrest me. But I would still let them come search my home because that's just me. But there is also a handful of them that, are being non-compliant. And I mean, Michael knocked on their door. Like, you can't sit here and tell me, like, you can't withhold information. And if you are the owner of that Honda Pilot, who was driving it? That needs to be cleared. Whoever owns that Honda Pilot, in my opinion, is being non-compliant because they can't get that cleared yet. All of these factors are out there still open, still not solved, still not having Michael. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think it's time to revisit the babysitter with some other people that are familiar with the case and get that timeline set down. Some of the stuff doesn't make sense.
Michelle, if you're listening to this, I'm going to be emailing Trixie. I'm going to be tweeting you. I really, really, really want Michelle to do the babysitter's timeline the same way she did the law enforcement timeline. And see her analysis. I know there's a couple of other people on YouTube that are really good with mapping out timelines and things like that and seeing it on a visual map. And I know you're trying to work on that a little bit and learn that skill, Levi, but you know what I'm talking about. There's some people that just freaking rock mapping stuff out. And I would love to see some of them do that here, take this timeline and her timeline and do their amazing mapping skills on this case as well. So definitely just putting that out there if they're listening, because I want to see it. I'm interested. So I'm definitely going to work on trying to get everything together to make it happen.
Yeah. And maybe it's time to bring out some of the things that I know that.
Well, True Crime with Shannon just said she wants to help too.
Yes,
So
definitely message me, True Crime with Shannon. And then maybe I think it's time to bring out some of the other stuff that the babysitter did that day that the public doesn't know yet, and put that into that timeline as well, and those locations onto a map.
Yeah, because it doesn't add up.
Yeah. And then maybe we can add a couple of the pictures that we've got recently.
Oh, I'm not going to air those. Her being in the bars after work in her scrub, Payette, not California.
Yeah.
Which, why lie about that? Why lie and say that you had to move out of state when you're not? I don't get it. It's just another lie. It's just another lie. It just goes to show it's just another lie.
Yeah, I think that will make for a good. I mean, it's going to take a couple lives with creators in order to accomplish it all, but they'll get put together, and it'll be a good session. Definitely. What?
Bling. Bling bling. Who would have thought? No.
Oh, and Bling, the amount of work that you've done will come in handy when we do this too. When we
I know.
go
Bling,
over all this stuff.
on your research skills, man, dude.
Yeah, all those. Huh?
Oh, Kelly Dime just said she's not in Cali. She's feeding up the bars in Idaho. I'm like, I know. It's like, go out and publicly say, I'm being threatened. I fear for my life. I had to quit my job and move out of state because people were trying to harm me. And that's a lie. So.
Well, and the whole thing is I wanted her to come to my channel to speak. I had questions for her, and her excuse is that she was working overtime and then wouldn't be able to do it until November. And the thing is 2 days later she was on another channel doing it, so she didn't want me to ask her questions.
You support the family. She's not going to be interviewed with you. Oh. She did that to actual news outlets and the media that were trying to reach out and interview as well. She's told them that she's not available till after September. She's had to move, all of those things as well. So she doesn't want to sit down and be interviewed by a reputable news source. That is flat out right there. She has had offers. So you want to talk about somebody who is refusing media? It's that woman. She refused interviews multiple times from reputable news sources to talk about Michael. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, True Crime with Shannon. It's the holidays are around the corner, so I've been just so motivated by that, and also just the more I get to know this family through this, and the more they let me into their inner world and process and what's happening, and the more I see them deteriorate from this trauma daily, in and out, and their kids and everything that's happening, the more I feel called, to rise and do what I can and keep going. And it's so hard. I'm still pitching the news and trying to get stories out there. But Michael is not the trending name, hashtag Quentin Simon, or, all these stories that are really out there big in the news right now. That's all the news stories are following. You know, and it's hard. How's Brandi holding?
They answered.
Brandi is not, yeah. Brandi is, well, I mean, it's been a struggle. We all know that. They've been very open, but lately it's been to the point where it's affecting her health. It's affecting her physical health, not just mental and emotional health. She's physically struggling. She's struggling to get out of bed. She's struggling to feel well. She's struggling to feel positive. Um, I mean, there's the daily thoughts of, you know, what if we don't find him? Like, she has that fear of that petrifies her every single day still. Every day. And it just, the more time goes on, and then it's the next holiday and the next life experience and the next thing, it just gets worse. And then, like I said in the beginning of this talk, you know, how Buggy's developing, and, you know, being a rambunctious 3-year-old. I mean, 3-year-olds are jibber jabbers in your face all the time anyway, but Buggy's just in their face daily with, you know, get my brother, go get my brother, find my brother. And that just, you know, it's normal for her to do this. There's nothing, but it's so hard, and it adds to their own process. And no, she's trying to eat. Yeah, I'll get
Lynn,
on her. I can tell you right now, Lynn, one time I was on the phone with her recently, and she was having a major, like, protein craving. You know, she's trying to eat, and she drove through and she ordered for herself a big old burger and a fish sandwich and fries and a drink, and she ate it all on the phone with me. And people are bringing her protein shakes. You could do that, Lynn, I'd be there so I could feed her. I get it. Mail her some protein shakes or something. I promise you, she uses those and they help. And she keeps them in the fridge, and she's trying because she knows that she has to stay her healthiest for Michael, because when we find him, it's going to be, you know, the next challenge, right? Of being there for Michael and getting Michael healed and healthy. So she'll use it. She'll use the protein shakes. They'll do it. And it's just that, like Tyler said, because Tyler, you know, same thing. I'm like, are you guys eating? And he's like, yeah, we're eating, but their systems are constantly running. Like, if you've ever had anxiety or live with anxiety, or have ever had a panic attack, and you know that, like, you know, buzz that happens in the whole system, buzz that takes place through anxiety or a panic attack, that's what their bodies are doing all the time. They are running at that level, like, all the time. So even when you eat, you're still, like, not really getting the nutrients because your body's just, you know, and getting rid of it. My son actually got really sick through his anxiety. He was already a skinny boy anyway because of that. And he was eating, but nothing's maintaining. So that's why they're so skinny. I mean, she trying, and she loves the cheeseburgers, and she loves, you know, pastas, and you know, she loves food. It's just really hard to eat when you don't know what's happening to your child. Oh, true crime with Shannon. I will do that.
Lynn's got it. Lynn's gonna
Okay, cool.
talk with True
Thank you,
Crime with
Lynn.
Shannon.
Perfect. I didn't see that. I just saw yeah. Protein shakes, you know, boxed pastas and things that they can make for Buggy, always help. They're definitely struggling. You know, they still both work, but if you can imagine, like I've said it before, if I was a millionaire, I would help this family so they could just stay home and take care of themselves and their kids and look for Michael and not have to go to work, but they do. That's the reality of life, you know. protein bars and things like that too, granola bars, stuff that they can snack on that are just, small, that you can munch on, that clearly can be shipped and are easy to ship. I'm gonna try to. Well, Brandy's got to talk to Tyler. I just brought this idea up yesterday, regarding an Amazon wish list for the kids for the holidays. Because of that, so that way, maybe we can all step in and help with presents for the children. Because I know a lot of people ask that kind of stuff in the group. So we're trying to get some of those things set up. So maybe when after she talks to Tyler, if he's okay with it and everybody agrees, maybe we can add some of that stuff on there that the family likes, that you guys can buy for them. And then it just mails. That's what's so great about Amazon wish lists. I love that feature. I've used it before. For my friends, kids that live in another state, they do Amazon wish lists, and I'm able to get them Christmas presents. And so this is something I'm trying to do so we can help them through the holidays.
Definitely. See, a whole bunch of good stuff just happened.
Yeah, and it is where the wind blows. That is true. It does take their mind off some things, and Albertsons as a company, and wholly like the corporate, and as the team there that they work with, have been amazing to them. They've always been helpful when they need time off, or need to shift things or whatever, because they have to go meet with law enforcement, or there's a press conference or whatever. Albertsons has been amazing. They have a couple of managers there that have just been amazing to them. But the reality is, these are hourly retail employees. People that work in retail don't make a lot of money to begin with, So that's definitely a hit. And this family has been very outspoken that they don't want to do any, public fundraising and things like that. But the more time goes on, the more they're struggling. And and I see that, and I feel that, and that just adds to the madness. It adds to the stress. It adds to the breakdown of their mental health, and being able to go forward. So I do see a lot of ways that we can help them, and I'm trying to get some of those things in place. One of them is we're looking for the family and volunteers. Callie Dime's helping, a couple others are helping. We're trying to find a trust attorney that will come on and help the family pro bono. We already have a CPA, an accountant, and the steering committee that was in place for the local community fundraising that was happening. But we want to get paperwork done, have an official Michael Vaughan Family Trust, because what I'm seeing with our community Facebook group, people are messaging me. They want to give money to, I want to help Michael when he's found, or I want to pay for postage for monkey mail so Brandi doesn't have to, or I want to help the family, in whatever way they need. And there's no channel really set up for that. So we're trying to get all of that together, and that's where the store on the website is tied in. Also, there needs to be paperwork filed for a trust account so we can have a tax ID, that attaches to all of that, so we can set it up so that way that account is handled by a independent attorney and accountant, and there's no way anyone can attack who's handling the money or how it's being raised or what's going on. And that way also too, there's money for Michael when he's found, because when Michael's found, these parents are not going to be able to work at all. They're going to need to be home, and we want to be able to help them. So we're working on it. It's taking some time. A food train. There's I've thought about this before, but this was early on. But now that you bring this up, I might actually revisit this idea. There's a website called Send Them a Meal. And I've seen this before. I've had it, friends will have somebody had a baby, or someone had surgery, or, something happening in a family's life, and someone sets it up, and if you live locally, like you can bring them a dinner, or you can send DoorDash gift cards, or, you know, it's a whole thing. It's called Send Them a Meal. It's an amazing platform. And you can have a calendar up and the family can put like their restrictions and guidelines for food, you know, options, things like that. So maybe that's something that I can see if Brandi might want. Maybe you could help with that, Lynn. I don't know. See if that's something that she might want to do. But the Amazon wish list might also kind of resolve that as well, because you can order food items or like Thanksgiving meal items or things like that through Amazon too. So yeah, there's some solutions out there, I guess is the best way to say, and we are trying to figure out which ones to put in place for them. I can ask her too. I talk to her about this all the time. And sometimes I just tell her, we're going to do this for you because you need this. And lots of people are trying to, and I'll send her the screenshots of the messages because they get so much hate and so much crap. So anytime someone messages me, someone heard me recently crying on one of Levi's lives, actually, about how much the family's struggling right now and that people just need to support them. And they messaged me and genuinely said, I'm so touched by what you said. I want to help them. Where do I donate? And like, I send those to Brandi, like, look, there are people out there that don't know you and just want to help you. You know, they just want to help you guys have a little bit of an easier day while you're trying to look for your child, you know, and she gets it. She gets it. Yeah, Blue does have a lactose intolerance. But I can find out about other allergies and things, and get something together for them, for everyone.
Definitely.
Well, the biggest thing I've been trying to do is get the store up, like everyone knows, with the t-shirts and the yard signs. And, you know, we had so much, it would have been so much easier if we didn't have backlash from certain opinionated platforms on it, that I'll have to have a say about everything. And that's why it's been a holdup. So that's why people can't buy yard signs on a store or a t-shirt, because we have to get these things in place. And then it just was one road bump after the next to get it set up, mostly just needing a tax ID number, you know, which if you were setting up your own store online, you would just put in your social security number, right? Because it's your store, your account. But we're dealing with trying to set up a trust. And if we were to put like Brandi's tax information or the account or anything like that, then these opinionated platforms are going to go, oh, look, they're just trying to sell merch and make money off their child. And that's what we want to avoid. So I'm really trying to make sure that that gets in line before putting a store out. But that's been why. That's been the only reason, is because I don't want to have to deal with people's wrong opinions on how it's being done. But that is the only reason why, is just we have to wait to get an attorney, file an official trust, get a tax ID number, and then we can put this up and then we can do it. And that's also too, once that's done, the Michael Vaughan Family Trust will be established and they'll be monitoring the money, and people can donate to that and say, I want to help Michael when he's found. The attorney puts that money for Michael when he's found. I want to help the family now. The attorney puts the money to help the family now. That's what that will be for them. And we all feel that's what's best. It's been talked to by all of their closest support team, the family. But that's been the only holdup.
Thanks, Lynn.
Yep. The worst of humanity has come out where this is concerned, for sure. It's a nightmare.
Well, and the other thing is that through your doing all of this stuff for this family, you've helped other ones with news media and other ideas as far as little business cards and other information to help them as well. So
I know I
there's
saw that Lucian's family did the card size for Lucian when they saw our monkey ones. And yeah, I've come into contact. Well, I'm working with True Crime Replay, and which is a nonprofit that helps missing, and I'm my role in that is really more advisory by this kind of stuff, bringing in like, well, here's what we learned through helping Michael's family, and here's the media outlets that we've come to find that will run missing stories, and and try to help. And I gave a lot of emails to Lucian's aunts, sent them nonprofits that we work with, Polyclass Foundation, all of them, and just said, here, these are the sources that have helped us to share information. And really that's what it's about. But what it's led to is we're actually in development now, on a podcast, the Missing Alliance podcast. And that's coming, but it will be for families. There'll be episodes on resources, episodes on alert reform, and these conversations and topics that affect these missing families. There's so much, as well as these cases that we can talk about and give the families a platform to share the story. So that's in development too. That's more through my work and my job work and my work with True Crime Replay. And that's going to be, victim-centric platform. We're not attacking families. We will talk about the stories and the missing person. So those are all in the works too. And yeah, it is just because I felt called to, and there's so many people that need help, and they don't know where to go. So who's this?
This is a little out of Sydney, Montana. And Lynn, I did see your post, and I do plan to do a live on this. And thank you for sharing it. Little boy that's been missing since.
There was a little girl that was taken recently by her father and was found dead the next day. There's a lot of these happening. They find this little boy.
Yeah, I saw she posted this. This is from the police, just put this out yesterday or the day before. And he's been missing since October 9th, but is said to be with his father, but I don't know. I haven't dug into it yet. So, yeah, a lot of good things to come in this little tiny world of the internet we live in. And helping the family is top priority. And getting some lives with some other creators that have getting everybody has weaknesses and strengths, and taking the weakness of somebody else and applying it to somebody else that has it as a strength, and coming together can make a big difference in Michael's case and for the viewing audience, for everybody that's watching, so that they can more understand what's going on or the reasoning behind placing something the way that it is, and continuing to share their flyers and posters and stuff. That's the most important thing. Great. Lynn, I'll be sharing it when I get off work. Yes, Lynn, we'll be getting that out to a bunch of places. And I do want to do just a little thing on it today. And then I'm going to dig into that case and see what's going on. Any last words, Lana?
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Levi, for hosting this, last minute, messaging me and getting the conversation going again. For Michael, we do want to make sure that everyone knows that there's lots of agencies in town. They've moved more FBI agents to Fruitland. There's, more investigators in town coming and looking at this. And we the community will put pressure on these non-compliant people and flesh them out and figure out what's going on and why, and make sure that this information gets shared. And I know law enforcement, like I said, they are continuing their process with warrants. Like they said, they're putting in their warrant applications and they're putting in their probable cause and they're pushing that through the judge and trying to do that process. It's very time consuming and grueling because, you know, you all have the right to privacy even when your neighbor's child goes missing. So if your own kid goes missing, your neighbors are still going to have their rights to privacy, even if Michael knocked on or your kid knocked on their door. They're going to be able to turn the police away. So there's some processes that need to change with that. I know Tyler is super passionate about that issue and trying to change that warrant process and make some amendments to how it happens because of this. But yeah, final words are we're just going to keep going and keep looking for Michael until we find him.
Yes, and thank you very much for being here, Lana. I've struggled in the past week or so. Usually I do a monkey live once a week, and last week was a rough week for the family, and trying to help them a little bit. I thought it was appropriate to not show one last week and to come out with one this week. And there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of investigators involved. There's a lot of things happening right now, and everybody say your prayers because hopefully one of them will figure something out and bring Monkey home. And for the non-compliant people, I suggest that you go to the police department, whether it's with attorneys or not, and speak with them. They just want to speak with you, and anything to help bring Michael home. As we've known for a while who majority of you are, and it's time. It's been long enough.
I mean, I'd like to have your face on a poster splashed around the community telling everyone that you're being non-compliant right now. People need to think about that because information does come out. People do find out, and this community wants to find this little boy. This whole community is shook by this. The whole community. And they want him found. They want him home. And if you are withholding information, you're going to be put on blast. Period.
Yeah, I think it's almost time. Maybe one more week, maybe less. I don't know yet. But it will be soon. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Anybody that's watching this, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, mods. You guys did great. You guys were all respectful in chat. And as I always say, go ahead, Lana.
Oh, if you see something, say something.
And then Brandi says, just be kind to one another. Bye, everyone.